Hi, y'all. I'm Jenny. I've never explained fully how I've gotten from there to here. Bear with me. I am both an ABI and a TBI survivor. 12 years before I had my traumatic brain injury, I had been going to the hospital for migraines, and they discovered through MRIs that I had an acquired brain injury called a cavernous hemangioma, which was like at the base of my brain near my spinal column, which was a balloon that was having blood feeding into the top of it, but it was swelling and it had no place to exit, and it was pressing against the brain inside and causing horrific migraines. And it was swelling, but it was also inoperable. And they gave me 12 to 15 years where it was going to rupture and would instantly kill me. But I figured at that time, when they found out about it, I had 12 to 15 years, so I didn't really think about it. I didn't think about my life at the time. I just went about my life and continued to live. I figured, okay, that's 15 years down the road, no biggie. But when I got to the 10-year mark, the pain was so horrific, and I was on so much pain medicine. It was the equivalent of morphine, but it was not a shot. It was a nasal spray that immediately went into the capillaries in the nose, went straight into the bloodstream to help with the pain. It was so horrific, and it was only very rarely prescribed, and even that was not helping. And I also found out from my mama, and I found out from the doctors and paperwork that I found, that I'd had at least two hemorrhages, where I also had blood that had gone into the cleanliness of the brain, and when there's blood in the brain, it produces toxins. Until it reabsorbs, there's horrific toxins. So I had lots of pain from that. And so I started self-medicating with alcohol. I was not an alcoholic that caused my traumatic brain injury. I was an acquired brain injury survivor that turned, because the medication was not enough, to self-medicating with alcohol that became chronic because the pain was so bad, and also the depression of counting down the years and looking at the calendar thinking, okay, I've only got 3 years to live. I know I'm going to die. I'm still young. And the depression was so severe, I didn't care. And it gave me a false sense of euphoria. So I was able to at least be somewhat happy. Well, while I was on the medication and I was under the influence of alcohol, because of the pain, I fell out my second-story window to the cement below, which caused my traumatic brain injury, which I'm actually very grateful for. I was life-flighted to the hospital, had 2 cardiac arrests on the way, which is no biggie, because they started my heart again. I went into a coma for 2.5 months. During that time, I had severe bleeding, shearing, swelling in the brain, and all kinds of stuff from diffuse axonal injury. But the main part of the story is all that bleeding. My brain went into overdrive of reabsorbing blood that was up there. It reabsorbed so much of the blood that it went into overdrive and took a lot of the blood that was in the inside of the cavernous hemangioma of the ABI that I had in my brain. It's not gone, mind you. It never will be. It's not malignant. It's benign. It's also a lot smaller, but it will be something that I will be living with. It's not getting refueled presently. It's been checked. It's not getting any bigger. It's a lot smaller than it used to be, but it will continue to be there and be checked on a regular basis by my neurologist to make sure that it's not refilling. presently it's inoperable and they have no way to do anything about it. So I am a very strange, unique survivor because I am on both sides of the spectrum. I'm an ABI survivor living with an ABI, acquired brain injury, and which is a genetic, I believe. I was born with this somewhere in my genes, and I'm also a traumatic brain injury survivor. But I do know that if I had not had the traumatic brain injury, I wouldn't be here because the ABI would have killed me. So I'm actually grateful for the TBI because it saved me from what the ABI would have done to me. So that's my actual true full story of how I came to be, and it's been like a 20-year story of everything. My alcohol did not cause my traumatic brain injury. My alcohol was only a cause from the ABI, which that led, the ABI led to the alcohol, which led to the TBI. So it was kind of a this led to this led to this. So it's just a full-length story more than a this caused my TBI. You know what I mean? So it's more of a true story. Hugs, y'all. Later, Gators.